Welcome everybody to yet another Coffee Time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee and I yap off into the void. Well met. You know, for this special occasion, I don't think coffee will quite do it. We're opening a cold bomb, boys. Oh my goodness, can you see all of this foam? Beautiful. So, what the hell are we yapping about today? Well, we are obviously going to be yapping about the Devtalk. Today, April 8th, there was a Devtalk. And boy, as you can probably tell by my enthusiasm and the cold beverage, I am goddamn excited. I honestly had no idea this was happening. I woke up and then I saw the notification like, oh shit, did we know about this in advance? I didn't. So now I've rewatched it like 3 to 4 times, like just to take it all in, because there was quite a lot. And boy, this dev team, they just fucking can't stop themselves. They can't stop themselves from just keeping on winning. Zenless Zero is the best gacha game on the market, no question about it. And the dev team behind it is honestly like the hardest working dev team I've ever come across. They kind of saw critical like success in the 1.4. Some people were worried that, you know, they might get a little bit comfortable, like, you know, they've made it now. But dude, no. They've reached 4 times the success, but they work twice as hard. This recent Devtalk just shows us that they are gonna continue working their asses off for us. So before I give you like the full summary of it, let's talk about like some key fucking points that, you know, I just loved. One, the biggest one, the singular most biggest fucking thing that was revealed in the Devtalk is that they are committed to keeping old characters relevant, both in combat and in story. Which means even though it seems like we might be leaving New Eridu, we will still, you know, get the old agents, but most importantly, my Ellen is probably very likely getting buffed. And so is a lot of other old characters. They specifically showed off Corin a lot, so like I feel like Corin might get some love, which, you know, I would love. I love my Corin. But just the fact that they've opened that Pandora's box. Buffs are coming. Something we've never seen in Genshin, but we are seeing it in Honkai Star Rail now that they're at the 2-year anniversary, but we're seeing it in Zenless even before we reach the first one, which is huge. Huge. And this just, you know, sends the entire, you know, discussion about power creep, it just sends it packing. Because if the devs are, you know, committed to like keeping Ellen, for example, relevant and like updating it, and what I fucking love above anything is that they specifically say, oh, it's not just about tuning numbers, because that's a boring way of doing it. We are talking full reworks of skills. And I'm also thinking that might, you know, even extend to mindscapes and, you know, ultimates and core skills, like just overall how a character functions. Like, you know, giving Ellen 400 more attack would not fix anything. And the fact that while they were talking about this, they showed off footage of the Lost Void just makes me feel like, you know, I've had this feeling that the Lost Void is a way for them to like test out buffs. Which honestly is genius, because in the Lost Void, what they do is they take old characters like Ellen, like Corin, and they just fix all the problems with them and like just makes them amazing. Like Lost Void Ellen feels like a 1.8 character, and she's just, you know, so much more fun in there. And then you know, you get back to your old Ellen. I still love her, bless her, but like it's just so much lesser. Same with Corin. It's like, you know, she's a bit slow, she's a little bit clunky. All of that just get fixed in Lost Void. Now, I don't think that they're gonna give us, you know, the entire Lost Void kit and you slap it on like normal, but maybe parts of it, certain aspects of it, maybe tweaked. But yeah, that is the big thing that has me, you know, excited about anything, because character buffs are coming to all characters, and it's not gonna be one cycle, one buff of it. That, you know, that's gonna be on the rotation. You know, every patch, maybe 1 or 2 old characters, they get a little bit of love. Maybe Ellen on her next rerun banner, she gets a little bit of love, and it's just such a nice thing, because I think that's also like a stopping point for a lot of people, like a quitting point for any gacha game. It's like when your absolute favorite character, when they've just been made redundant by power creep. And I just think that this is such a good way to like show the player base that, you know, your time, money in some cases, and like commitment to this character is not wasted. Because, you know, we'll keep supporting this character. And I've been saying it ever since it was announced for Honkai Star Rail. I think it's coming. I would bet money on that it is coming, and it is coming. These devs have shown that anything good that's happened in like another title, especially if it's like a Hoyo-made title, they are gonna take that and like implement it into this. Because what this dev team is really, really good at is taking feedback from the player base and actually implementing it in the game. Genshin is more, you know, they take a lot of feedback, but then they don't do anything with that feedback, really. Meanwhile, these ones have just, like, Zenless in just these, like, 8 months, or whatever it's been out now, has, it's changed so much. Entirely for the better. I loved Zenless day one, but, like, what they've done here is just, boom! It's so good! They've knocked it out of the park, and they just keep on knocking and knocking and knocking. And yeah, as you can tell, this is what I'm most excited about. Like, just keeping old characters relevant is just, yes, it's so good. And they also talked about, you know, a bunch of other stuff that's like really, really cool. Like, one, I really love like the Aftershock themes that they've given us in this patch. Zombie Trigger is fun because as they bring up in Devtalk, before Zombie and Trigger and, you know, Asta, it kind of felt like, you know, you brought a team, but but your agent played solo. Because as soon as another agent was done, they just disappeared. They specifically addressed that, you know, they kind of want to change that and they want to feel more like you're playing a full team. And they showed off Trigger as an example. Because, you know, Trigger is not done once you're done with her, you know, she stays on field and keeps attacking. And now, this is a little bit of a double-edged sword. It's like, I like that idea, but one of my, you know, slight gripes with Trigger is that I really like her, I love her, I think she's very cool, and I spent a lot of pulls getting her, but I don't really feel like I'm playing her. I hope that not every, you know, supporting type agent will play as little as Trigger. You know, I more hope that they will be a lighter, so, you know, kind of on field, but then also maybe have some off-field stuff like happening. And they also said that in 2.0 they are gonna focus like a lot on this, like having characters, you know, work, like stay on the field. So I'm also hoping this won't create, you know, a big gulf between the characters that we've received so far that doesn't do that. But since we're getting buffs, maybe, you know, maybe when they buff Lucy, she will, you know, get some off-field mechanics. Although you could argue that the boss is just that. But, you know, just take any character. Say Caesar, for example. But yeah, if this is, you know, the way going forward, having most of the agents like keep staying on field, hopefully they'll buff some old characters that doesn't work like that currently to, you know, do that. So now I've gushed about the things that I'm most excited about. Let's do a full summary of exactly what's coming for anybody that, you know, might not have watched the live stream. So the Devtalk timed closer to our 1-year anniversary focuses on future content. Particularly the upcoming version 2.0 is expected to arrive late May or maybe beginning of June in 2025. And the introduction of Season 2, marking a new narrative chapter. The Devtalk's description highlights that the new Season 2 story is just around the corner, which hints at a major story expansion. Season 2, or version 2.0, will introduce the Waifu Peninsula as the main stage for Season 2's narrative, a district within the Throne Quarter near the Lemnian Hollow. This area, historically tasked with monitoring the volatile hollow, derives its name from Cantonese characters meaning protect and anomaly, symbolizing protection from hollows. The peninsula includes Failum Heights, an outpost built on a cliff with scenic views, and is central to porcelain mining, a material resistant to ether corruption which has become a core industry, but also a source of faction conflicts. The story will delve into unresolved mysteries such as Sarah's true intentions behind the sacrifice and bringer incidents, the conspiracy of the mysterious Exaltist, and the truth behind the fall of the Old Capital, and the secrets of the Phaeton siblings Bell and Wise. It seems likely that these plot points will be explored through interactions with new characters and factions, notably Yi Xuan, I'm sure I'm butchering that, the current leader of the Yunkui Summit, will debut as a key character, described as a wayseeker with a yellow cape, guiding the protagonist as a mentor and helping them explore hollows directly. Her mysterious past will be gradually uncovered and the protagonist will become her new disciples. Additionally, familiar factions like the Defense Force Obel Squad and the previously revealed idol faction, Angels of Delusion, will make appearances, enriching the narrative landscape. A Season 2 teaser trailer is scheduled to release on April the 13th, promising more details on these factions and the storyline. As for gameplay and content enhancements, the Devtalk emphasized the Season 2's content direction goes beyond adding new characters and areas. incorporating player feedback to make significant adjustments. The map design has been completely revamped, integrating residential areas with combat zones at the system level for a more fluid and engaging experience. Phalum Heights. The main city is now larger to ensure a more comprehensive functionality and future expandability, while reducing loading times caused by scene transitions. The new daily system will reflect the local culture and customs of Wi-Fi Peninsula. Players, as business-savvy video store owners, will help manage Subian Temple, introducing management simulation elements like Bamboo Dispatch. And I'm guessing the Bamboo Dispatch will maybe be kind of similar to the dispatch function we have in Honkai Star Rail, where we can send out a few agents to go gather up some resources. It's not too much, but it does add up. Subian Temple will be restored with the player's assistance, and elements like Howl's scratch card will be updated to match the temple's vibe. The loading issue between the video store's interior and exterior, previously requiring a loading screen, has been resolved, allowing seamless transitions. Pathways in Phalum Heights are optimized, concentrating function areas for efficient access. And we're also gonna get to explore the Aerospace City ruins. Located within the Lemnian Hollow, exploration will begin from the edge of the Aerospace City, long devoured by the Hollow but still used for porcelain mining in ether-stable areas. The design will be refined with larger explorable areas, more robust systems, and streamlined guidance, building on lessons from past versions. After completing training at the Subian Temple, the proxy siblings Bell and Wise no longer need to return to the video store to access Hollows via the HDD system, enabling convenient travel between Phalum Heights and Aerospace City. And now, on a personal note, Aerospace City. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been saying for ages that at some point we are going to the hecking moon. No doubt about it. Where do you go off? What would be a good place to set off to the moon? Maybe the Aerospace City. We're going to the moon, peeps. Also, travel system. The travel system has been redesigned from the original sliding area selection to a larger map format, improving the UI experience with a mini-map and navigation features. This allows players to select destinations more quickly and gain a clearer understanding of New Erdo's geographical layout. As for narrative structure, the Devtalk addressed the feedback on the disjointed viewing experience due to independent special episodes and fatal story. Future versions will merge these, focusing on developing connections between various agents and main storyline, deepening the proxy's involvement. The main storyline will be updated steadily with each version, ensuring narrative quality is not compromised. So basically, the agent stories have kind of, felt like if this was an anime, they felt a little bit like OVAs, like they happen on the side, and just like they mentioned, it feels a little bit disconnected from the main story. We have no idea when in time a lot of it happens. It just, happens on the side and helps flesh out characters. But in the future, moving forward, the agent stories will be more connected to what's happening and what's actually happening in the main story. And now, Zenless is also coming to Xbox, so all Xbox enjoyers, enjoy. And for combat system adjustments, current combat design has been noted to diminish the presence of characters other than the main DPS, making the free-person tactical squad feel like a solo operation. For Season 2, the team plans to enhance functionality and performance of non-DPS characters. When agents are switched out, they can still remain on-field and contribute to combat. Think, Pulchra, Trigger, Astra. And this is gonna be the template going forward, with visual indications of the performance without affecting player control of the on-field agent. Preliminary ideas include adding new attacks and defense mechanics for enemies, requires specific counter strategies to involve teamwork from different squad members. In certain special combat areas, enemies might gain advantage through specific conditions. These optimizations aim to enhance overall character synergy, elevating both combat and visual experience, with some ideas potentially appearing in the version 2.0 special program. And future version events. The Devtalk outlined plans to optimize events in 3 aspects. 1. Improving existing game modes, introducing new gameplay and adding relaxing events. Existing modes like Grand Martial Adventure and Bamboo vs. Ethereal will be made more fun for players. New gameplay might include casual duels between Bamboo or controlling a giant Bamboo in combat, leveraging the game's adorable Bamboo characters. Beyond intense combat events, slow-paced, relaxing events will enrich players' everyday life outside of the main story, such as spending joyful moments with agents at hotpot restaurants, movie theaters, and more, offering a breather and lighter story moments. And now comes my favorite part, character development and long-term value. Every character is a result of the team's dedication, and efforts have been made to ensure they remain future-proof with long-term value. Showcasing a character's charm isn't just about boosting stats. It involves maintaining and strategically enhancing their unique traits. This may include supplementing or reworking certain skills and effects, tailored to each character's experience, while considering their compatibility with other characters in future versions. In terms of storytelling, even early release characters will showcase their unique charm, with specific mention of version 1.7 featuring scenes between Lycon and Hugo, and crucial for emotional investment. The goal is for every character to find a purpose in New Eridu, creating a meaningful relationship with the player and potentially deepening bonds. So, like I was talking about earlier, this is what I'm most excited about. What does this mean tangible? It means buffs. It means buffs to old characters to make them be relevant in combat, to make them feel relevant in combat. And this is what I'm most excited about. And as a final little note, they talk about the team's commitment and feedback. They say, as a relatively new team, the developers acknowledge falling short in earlier stages regarding narrative and gameplay elements. They've been working hard to make improvements, continuously incorporating feedback from proxies, players, and optimizing content. The team prioritizes ensuring content quality in future updates and humbly welcomes further feedback and guidance through official community channels. They hope Season 2 will bring a more complete and smoother experience, encouraging players to share any issues encountered to guide future development. And like I also touched upon earlier, this is where I feel like, this dev team really comes out on top. Because they don't only take our feedback and then, use it to wipe their arse with it, they actually take it, implement it into the game. And it's become such a meme, like the dev listened, but dude, there has been not a single dev team that's listened as much as this. And it's a fine line, because you don't want, to be, caught in audience capture either. But I don't feel like I don't feel like that's been a problem. They also know, how to weed out the bullshit from, the actual good constructive criticism. And this is honestly, the recipe of succeeding in basically anything in life. You need to be your biggest critic. You yourself needs to be aware of your own biggest shortcomings and own up to them and, try to fix them in some cases or work around them in some other cases. And in so many cases, I think, the internal criticism that you give yourself is the most important one, and sometimes it's the one that's easiest to, just shut out. Like any content creator, any game publisher, game developer, anyone that thinks that they are the shit and doesn't need any improvement and just, claps themselves on the chest thinking, damn, I'm so good, and that's all they do, they won't improve and they will never be truly great. For example, me personally, I'm aware that, especially in my early videos, I had somewhat of a pacing issue. Because I'm not a fast person. I wanna sit back, take my time, sip some coffee or, other beverage at occasions and just vibe out. Something in the era of TikTok, when everything has to be, delivered under a minute, is, not always appreciated. So I'm trying to, speed it up while still not becoming, full TikTok speed. But more find a balance between my own style, but also, giving myself a little bit of a kick in the arse. And having worked as a teacher for many years, I also do think that sometimes I over-explain stuff. But in teaching, you'd rather take, an extra minute over-explaining something so that, everybody gets it. Because if you, say, explain a math concept in 5 minutes, maybe 70% of the class will get it, but the remaining 30%, they would need a few more minutes. So I myself, I'm also trying to improve, and I thank you all for, sticking with me. But in general, this Devtalk, holy shit. It made all my worries. I didn't have too much because I have so much faith in this dev team now. But all my worries are kinda laid to rest. And like I've said many times, the biggest thing is that we are getting buffs to old characters. Because the game has been evolving kinda rapidly, and the standard banner cost, for example, they have had a hard time keeping up. And I would love to see some characters that, maybe they weren't done cooking with, like Grace, with some adjustment, become relevant, because Grace has the potential for some actual fucking greatness if they tweaked and changed some things. And being a massive fan of Ellen, just the fact that I know that they are thinking about her, she's gonna get buffs, she's gonna be taken care of, makes me relieved. Because I was a little bit worried that by the next time Ellen, was coming back, almost nobody would be interested in pulling an Ellen just because, she is cursed with being released a little bit too early. And especially like being the release character, she's basically an honorary standard banner character. Like the gulf between standard banners and the event banner character, it can't be too big. So yeah, I'm super excited to see more in a tangible form what this will actually mean for the future going forward. And I'm hoping that, we get buffs already in 2.0. Just so we can get a feel of how big are the buffs going to be. And if I had to guess, I would say that Jin Chuan is probably going to be the anniversary unit, since it says that she's going to play a very important role. She's going to become our mentor. And I just feel like they're setting her up to be the anniversary unit. And I'm fine with that. She looks cool. She looks cool as all hell. But I also think that we are gonna, get playable Wise and Bell. They don't specifically come out and say it. And by playable, I mean in combat. They don't specifically come out and say it, but they do kind of say it, if you read between the lines. This new busted 2.0 unit that I'm guessing, she is gonna train us. She's gonna become our mentor. And I don't think she's gonna, train us to be better at computer hacking. I think she's actually gonna train us for combat. Now, if that means that we're actually gonna be like one of the 3 characters we bring into combat, or if it's gonna be, its own mechanic, on its own, waits to be seen. I think we can either go down that way, or I think we're gonna, go down the Bangbu way. That maybe to each team we also get to, pick maybe certain affixes for Wise and Bell, depending on who you pick. Certain affixes that might buff certain teams. Kinda like how you have the buffs in the Deadly Assault. But we'll see. So yeah, everybody, this has gone on for slightly too long. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to talk with people about this. Had I known that this was coming, I'm not sure how far in advance they announced it. Maybe I'm just not been clued up. But had I known this was coming, I would have live streamed it so we could have just, nerded out live to it. So I'm a little bit late to the party. I'm sorry about that. But let me know down below what do you think. And like the one thing that could have made this dev stream even better was if they said, you know what? The engine banner, it sucks. We're switching it. No more 75-25, it's just 100. Then I would have had whiskey. No, I hate whiskey. Rum and Coke. But overall, this is the dev team that just keeps on fucking winning. And I'm super excited to see what more they're gonna be cooking. Everybody, let me know your thoughts down below. And hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. Big hug. And Hako out.
Lights bounce off her curves. She's got the body that swerves and serves. In the city, she's the queen. Titties like you've never seen. She's pixel perfect, tall and pure. Synthwave dreams, she's breaking through. Electric hearts, so skipping beats. She's got those speeds that can't be beat. Anime titties, lines so bright, bouncing through this neon night. Pixel skies and curves of prize. All I see are T's in the skies. Lucy, no survive this real tease that make your circuits feel.